Welcome to Sarah Tells Stories. This story is called Stone Soup, a story of gentle magic and community. There was once a village at the edge of a forest, where the wind whispered through pine trees and the smoke from chimneys curled like ribbons into the sky. The people of the village were kind at heart, but they had been through hard times. Crops had failed the year before. A long bitter winter had stretched too far into spring. People had learned to tighten their belts, to hold on to what they had. Their doors were shut, and their voices were quiet. Not because they didn't care, but because they were tired, wounded, unsure who to trust. And then, one golden afternoon, just as the first leaves of autumn were turning amber and red, a stranger arrived. She wore a faded shawl and carried a small satchel. Her boots were dusty from the road. Her hair was tied back with twine, and in her hand, she carried a smooth, round stone. The villagers watched from their windows. Some peeked from behind doorways. No one said hello. But the woman only smiled. She stepped into the center of the village square, placed her stone on the ground, and looked around. "What a perfect day," she said gently. "I think this is just the place to make a pot of stone soup." Stone soup? A few curious children crept forward. "Stone soup? What's that?" The woman winked. "A most delicious soup," she said, "made from nothing more than this stone, and whatever kindness people can add." The children giggled. One ran to fetch their grandmother. Another went to find a pot. Soon, a large iron kettle was set in the center of the square. The woman knelt beside it, filled it with water from the well, and placed the smooth stone inside. She lit a fire beneath the pot, and the wood crackled with a warm, welcoming glow. The water began to steam. The stone sat quietly at the bottom, warming the way stories warm our hearts. The woman sniffed the air. She said, "This will be a fine soup, though it might be even better with a few carrots. Carrots add sweetness and strength." From the back of the crowd, a shy man stepped forward. "I have a few carrots," he said, surprised at his own voice. "They're small, but still good." He brought them out, wrinkled but sweet, orange as autumn leaves. He washed them, chopped them, and added them to the pot. The scent that rose was earthy and warm, like sunshine in a root. The woman stirred the soup gently. "Now," she said, "what would soup be without onions? They bring flavor and healing too. They help clear tears from the eyes and sadness from the chest." A young mother stepped forward with a basket. "We have a few," she said, "from the garden last season. I was saving them for winter, but maybe this is just the moment." She peeled them slowly. The skins were papery and bronze. As she sliced them, the scent filled the air, sharp, honest, and comforting. The kind of smell that reminds you someone is cooking, someone is caring. One by one, others began to step forward. A boy brought a handful of herbs from his windowsill: thyme, rosemary, and a single bay leaf. "My grandmother says rosemary helps remember," he whispered. A quiet girl brought barley, which thickens soup and fills the belly in a gentle, steady way. "My father always cooked barley when I was sick," she said. A baker brought 3 small potatoes. An elder offered a single garlic bulb. "It's good for the blood and good for the spirit," she said, smiling. A few people brought beans. One brought a cabbage, green and crunchy. Another added dried mushrooms from the forest. "These help the body mend," he said, "and they hold the taste of the trees." The pot bubbled. The scent rising from it was rich and layered, sweet from the carrots, bold from the onions, earthy from the barley, herbal from the thyme. The fire snapped. The sky above turned the soft colour of peach as the sun began to set. The woman stirred the soup slowly, carefully, as if she was stirring a spell of healing. And maybe she was, because something was changing in the village square. People were smiling. Not wide, forced smiles, but small, quiet ones. Like the first snowflake before the snowfall. Someone brought out bowls. Someone else brought spoons. The child wrapped a scarf around the shoulders of someone cold. They didn't ask why. They simply saw and helped. And when the soup was finally ready, the woman dipped her ladle into the pot and served the first bowl. She gave it to the oldest man in the village, whose hands trembled with surprise. Then she served the children, then the mothers, then the quietest among them. The bowl passed from hand to hand, steam curling like fingers around each face. Everyone ate, and oh, how it tasted! It tasted like warmth and time, like stories shared and sorrow softened. It tasted like the memory of better days and the hope of new ones. It was not just soup, it was a circle, a reminder that no one needs to do everything alone, that everyone has something to give. The stranger smiled as she ate her small bowl. Someone finally asked, "Where did you learn this recipe?" She shrugged softly. "It's been passed on by many people, in many places. Some say it's magic. Others say it's simply what happens when we trust one another." As the stars blinked awake above them, the people of the village felt full, not just in their stomachs, but in their hearts. And when they turned to thank the stranger, she was gone. All that remained was the empty pot, and the smooth, round stone resting quietly at the bottom. The people kept it, polished it, and placed it in the village hall. And every year after that, when the leaves began to turn and the air grew cool, they would gather once more, light a fire and begin again. "Let's make stone soup." And they did. Together. The end. Peace and prosperity always come when people support each other in love. How have you felt community support in your life today? This week? This month? This year? Hold these moments close to your heart, and you will create more as time goes on.